You're watching the Eternal Tournament Series. You're watching the Eternal Tournament Series.
Am Mark, aka Chibikawaii, and in the booth, I'm very excited. This week we got a Mr. Gabe. Gabe, you want to give us a quick little rundown of our little matchup with given our 7 rounds and 95 participants? Oh, sounds like there might be a little.
Hello. It is Gabe here the whole time, and I am here to tell you about this matchup. So we have Marius, a tournament veteran, both of them tournament veterans, typically known for Icaria Blue, but today he's brought Combray Splashing Primal for Island Clan Mother, one of the new cards from set 3 that hasn't seen that much play, and a couple copies of Island's Choice, which I think is going to be a good deck. And then on the other side, we have Mouche, another tournament vet, like I said, playing Charge Rod, a deck that we've seen a couple times on here that's always super exciting because of the combo potential. Not a matchup I'm familiar with, though.
Yeah, no, I have not seen the good old Moistelet Combray versus Charge Rod before. Who do you think is actually favored here?
I actually am gonna have to go with Combray just because I feel like Charge Rod's weakness is Desert Marshal, and there's 4 of them over there, in addition to 4 Valkyrie Enforcers. Charge Rod is very powerful. I think it's gonna do more powerful things than Combray if it gets going. But as the game goes on, it will run out of resources, and Combray will grind it out with Parliaments and Mystic Ascendants. And I think just the additional silences from Island Clan Mother and Island's Choice, having fast speed answers is going to help a lot. But we're underway now as we see Marius lead off here.
Yeah, so Marius playing a crest, sees, was that a Soulfire Drake on the top? And looks like put it to the bottom. Or, I know, Marius. Oh, that was Great Parliament, put Great Parliament on the top. Yes, sorry. Now we're back over to Mouche. I know where we are. I can see things now. This is good. Mouche looking at a card of his own. I did not see. Did you actually get a glimpse of that?
I think Mouche was looking at the Soulfire Drake.
Okay. So I wasn't going crazy and just looking and getting my players mixed up. But now we're back.
Yeah.
Back to Mouche after Marius playing a depleted power. Marius playing another Justice Sigil, going to go ahead and play out Combray Healer. Combray Healer going to put Marius to 28th, and of course, Pump itself making it 2-5. We're back over to Mouche. Mouche playing a Justice Sigil of their own. Whirling Duelero comes out. Have to measure. Yeah, we're going to see that attack. Gain 3 life. Mouche is going to be sitting at 28 as well.
Yeah, so I think the way this matchup is playing out is favoring Marius as well. The more I think about it, Charge Rod has a lot of these control elements with Harsh Rule and stuff that aren't super useful against Combray because they can sit back, especially Marius's hand with the Great Parliaments and a Mystic Ascendant already in hand. Whereas Marius's Harsh Rules are still pretty good because Moose just ends up having to play a lot of these charge units just to be proactive, and that's gonna play into Marius's favor.
For sure. There is to note though with the Soulfire Drake that after Marius does throw out this harsh rule, all of Mouche's units are going to be very, very good Divining Rod targets. Now, of course, Marius on his turn played the Find the Way, played another depleted power past the turn. Mouche just going ahead and playing a Banner, playing a Diago, and then getting in for 6, putting Mouche up to 31. Of course, past the turn back to Marius. Marius able to get in with that Combray Healer, dropping Mouche down to 29, and then firing off a Harsh Rule after playing a power. Empty board on both sides. Marius at 5 power, Mouche at 4 power, Mouche at 29 life, Marius at 25. Mouche drawing a crest with a Wisp on top for warp, trying to sit in there thinking a little bit about those decisions.
Yeah, he's really looking for a Divining Rod here. So Marius made an interesting decision last turn. They could have played a Great Parliament instead of Harsh Ruling, and that would have made a Soulfire Drake here a lot worse. Because then Soulfire Drake would just trade with an Owl, and then Harsh Rule would still be online. Obviously, he doesn't know what's in Mouche's hand, And potentially this Great Parliament will end up getting more value if he's able to get 2 owls out of it. But with the Soulfire Drake in hand and a Diogo on the field that Marius does not have an answer to, I don't know how long this game is going to last, but I think we're going to at least see a couple Mystic Ascendant activations.
Yeah, and so we do see Mouche, unfortunately, because of that harsh rule, only had the banner in hand, drew the crest of the turn, was not able to play a 5th undepleted power that turn, which forced Mouche to go ahead and decide to warp in the Alluring Ember and go ahead and play the Diago, getting in for 3. Marius just playing a Great Parliament and a power on their turn, passing the turn back to Mouche. Mouche playing the crest, deciding to bottom what was seen, and immediately plays out this Soulfire Drake and decides he wants to get a little frisky with it, attacking in.
Yeah, I think the reason Marius just played the Parliament that turn and passed back was because he wants to play this Mystic Ascendant with Protect up, so that's what he's going to do next turn.
Makes total sense.
Also,
and get guaranteed value off of the Mystic Ascendant.
Yeah, exactly. Also, Mouche playing the Ember, I think, more than anything, just helps him get a card deeper towards that Divining Rod that he's looking for.
I think so entirely as well. So Amber Waystone going to come down, does have the correct influence, going to put Marius up to 23, and we have a 6/6 Mystic Ascendant with, as you pointed out, Protected up. We see a pass turn back over to Mouche. Mouche drawing in Ikaria for the turn, has a Seek Power in hand, so we'll be able to play Ikaria this turn. We'll be able to next turn.
So he's only at 1 Justice, so he's going to need triple.
Very good point. Yes.
But that means that he can't play both Vanquish and Harsh Rule in the same turn, so this Mystic Ascendant is at least getting another draw step.
Yes, however, if Great Parliament does come down from Marius, that's going to make Mouche's harsh rule very, very good. And we do see that Seek Power come out for Mouche. Mouche getting another Justice Sigil, going in and play it. And as Gabe pointed out, still a Justice source short for that Ikaria in hand. Looking back over to Marius drawing a Sandstorm Titan for the turn. Curious to see if he's going to play it or might go with Parliament.
I think he's going to go for the Valkyrie Enforcer because that Diogo is dangerously close to ulting, and that's not something that you can really let happen.
That's an excellent point. Oh, wow. How greedy is Marius going to get? Do we see the Valkyrie Enforcer come down as well? How much value can Mouche hope to get out of this harsh rule? It's looking right now a little bit of extra value there. Oh, boy.
Okay, yeah, so this is Marius not being aware of, or just assuming that Mouche doesn't have harsh rule in hand because thinking, oh, he would have played it had he had it. But there wasn't really a great opportunity. I don't mind playing the Great Parliament out because it does pressure a lot, and I don't think Mouche would have been able to ultimate Diogo. But playing that far into harsh rule obviously is cruising for a bruising. But fortunately, draws a Seraph here to gas back up.
Yeah, just not going to matter. Looks like Mouche drawing a Caleb for the turn, not finding another power, just playing harsh rule, passing the turn back. Marius immediately draws the Seraph off the top, is able to play the Seraph and the Sandstorm Titan. Mouche going to fire off a Vanquish on the Sandstorm Titan, but we have an active Seraph, not looking great. Marius just drawing a power for the turn, though. Looks like Seraph activation. Silver Wing Smith is the card. That's going to be a 2/8 flyer. Not particularly a fast clock, but a very, very hard to remove creature. It's going to block that Ikaria very well.
So Caleb is Mouche's only play this turn, and Caleb is pretty good when you have a full board. But here, it's definitely less impressive. Sure, 10-7, flying charge, lifesteal, still pretty good. But not the Caleb you're used to seeing off Charge Rod, where you give everything a weapon and OTK them.
Okay, and now we see a pass back to the turn after that very fun turn from Mouche. Seraph activation. Oh my goodness, another Caleb. That's shifted another Falchion. Wow. All right, so we're going to see Marius dropping down to 5 here. Mouche is at infinite life total, basically, sitting at 45. Oh, Desert Marshal off the top for Marius. Marius is going to be able to play that and at least get that 14-8 out of the air. Oh, an Emerging Colossus.
Not a flyer.
Yeah, not a... Okay, yep. And sitting at 5, either one of the flyers is going to be lethal. All right. Congratulations to Mouche.
Yeah, I was thinking that eventually Marius would be able to deal with all the giant units that that Mouche would play, but I think that harsh rule just gave too much card advantage to Mouche, and the card quality, obviously, once we're up at 8 power and casting Caleb's, was just way too great.
Oh,
of a
I'd also
difference.
yeah, no, I completely agree. And it's looking at the boards. Um,
Well,
what is
I can tell you that Musha is not using all his premium cards. I can tell you that much. Look at
wait,
that. Look,
what
there's a use premium icon right there
wait, what?
on
What?
his hand cam. He needs to put all his premium
Oh,
cards in.
oh, 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 oh. You're messing with me. I'm sitting here looking at sideboards. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't see any premium icons. I guess like what is Moose bringing in? Harsh rules are
Um,
probably coming. Well, can you take all the harsh rules out? Like I don't.
I think
You got to worry about Parliament.
so. Let's take a look at both of them together.
Yeah.
So, can Moosh take out the harsh rules? Depends on what he thinks Marius is bringing in, right? Like if he thinks Marius is taking out harsh rules and bringing in Vodacons and Reality Wardens, which I don't think is very likely, then obviously he wants harsh rules. But if he thinks, something like, I don't think there's even very much for Marius to bring in. I would not be surprised if Marius just brings in the extra protect and extra vanquish for maybe some of the cards. Doesn't maybe like Combra Healer comes out.
Yeah.
Um,
Ye-
like I wouldn't be surprised to see that as the only change,
Yeah.
or even maybe see Vodacon come in for like a combo.
Yeah, that would definitely be interesting. However, Comedy Healer is nice in that, or well, it does do stop some of Moosh's earlier aggressions, which I actually really, really like the Whirling Duro addition to this deck. I think that gives a little bit of more early game pressure, and having those two keywords definitely does help for Divining Rod. So just a very interesting addition, or at least I haven't been aware, but it does look
Well,
like our games are getting
yeah.
underway here.
I think I wouldn't be surprised to see Moosh bring in some amount of Valkyrie Enforcers
Uh,
and the Desert
yeah.
Marshal.
Yes, it does a
He
Marshall
doesn't want
in
to
the
break
book.
up his combo though. That's the thing.
Yeah, and that's where like you can trim on some of your harsh rules more than likely. I don't think I like taking all of them out, but that's really the only thing I'm seeing in this matchup that I would feel comfortable really trimming.
Yeah, I think most of his sideboard is geared towards more because against control, you really want your combo to be as robust as possible.
Yeah, I completely agree. And just a quick recap, it's just in terms of what has happened in the game. Marius has fired off a Seek Power, played a couple power, and passed the turn back and forth. Mouche has just played a couple power. So nothing too crazy happening yet in this game, which I don't know who that favors more, in all honesty.
I still think that it favors Marius. I think Marius wins the long game. I think Moosh wins the game where right on like turn 6 or 7 we go off. But I think if Marius can spend some time setting up a board and then Moosh goes off like turn 8 or something,
Yeah.
it's very um, it can be dealt with.
Yeah, we do see this rise of the challenge coming out from Moosh here. What is Moosh going to be getting? Looks like he's looking at Akaria and Divining Rod right now. Oh, nope, nope. Decides maybe not so much.
I think because he already has a divining rod, he's going to be looking at other options. Not sure what he wants right now. He might just
Yeah.
go for something cheap to play right now because
So, yeah, I was about to say, I actually really like Soulfire Drake, and that's what I was leaning towards too, since you already have the second one, right? So you can play the first Soulfire Drake, go ahead, swing in, get that gone, and then play the second Soulfire Drake and play the Divining Rod on that, at which point it's going to hit every single creature that you play.
yeah. So the card that I noticed seems to be missing from
Mm-hmm.
Marius' sideboard is Stand Together, which I think would do a lot of work in this matchup.
Yes.
And I think not having Stand Together is going to give Moosh his key in, his window to win this game because this harsh rule potentially putting if Marius is behind on cards, Moosh is going to win.
Yeah, and so just to give a quick recap of the past couple turns, Marius, so Mouche went ahead and played that 7-2 Soulfire Drake, attacked in. Marius just went ahead, led it through, dropping Marius down to 18. Marius then, on his turn, plays the Sandstorm Titan, go ahead and attacks in for 5, putting Mouche down to 20, and then follows that up with a Desert Marshal, the Desert Marshal silencing the Soulfire Drake, and then and then a Vanquish came out from Marius in order to finish off that 7-2 Soulfire Drake. Passing the turn back to Mouche. Mouche just goes ahead and plays the 5-2 Soulfire Drake and passes the turn back to the Marius. Marius go ahead attacking with Sandstorm Titan and the Desert Marshal after drawing a Mystic Ascendant for the turn. I have to imagine we're going to see a block here, right?
If he blocks, he has the option of next turn playing Wisp and Divining Rod on it, so I would not be surprised to see that, but maybe he just doesn't believe in the Wisp by itself.
Yeah, and we do not see a block, so now Mouche in an I don't know. I think I like that block because Mouche now down to 13 after taking the hit from both Sandstorm Titan and Desert Marshal with just a kind of a Soulfire Drake sitting there. Like you're not attacking with the Soulfire Drake unless you are, but then like you really have to hope that Marius is going to block it. Otherwise, the Divining Rod on Wisp doesn't end up, or the Luring Ember doesn't really work out. So I'm not entirely okay. Or Divining Rod's just going straight on Soulfire Drake. Let's see what we hit. That's a whiff. Wow.
Yeah, that was an interesting choice. It definitely pressures Marius a little bit this turn, but and he has a harsh rule, so he's probably not that concerned. But he doesn't know that Marius has Vodacon and Mystic Ascendant waiting for him.
Yeah. Yeah, and we do see a Vanquish come out from Marius, taking care of that Soulfire Drake that had the Divining Rod on it. Mouche, though, drawing for the turn a Flying Charge Caleb. It was good enough last time. Let's see if we can hit a Falchion again, right?
Yeah, he could play that, and hope to get some lifesteal. He could also just Vanquish or Harsh Rule. If he goes for Vanquish, though, he just loses. Oh no, he can play both in the same.
No,
turn.
he has.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
if he
he
goes
has,
for Harsh Rule first, yeah. So
Mhm.
either way, Marius uses Protect, and then Mouche is able to finish it off with the other one. But
No, Mouche, lead with Vanquish. No. All right, but Mouche is
no,
going to.
it's fine either way.
I guess yeah, you're right. You are right. They get it doesn't actually matter. So we do see the harsh rule come out. Of course, Mario is firing off that protect on the Sandstorm Titan, thinks it's going to get protected. Then of course Mouche has that Vanquish to follow it up. Sandstorm Titan going to hit the yard. Mouche going to then play the Alluring Ember, get in for 1, dropping Marius down to 9, passing the turn. Marius just drawing a Justice Sigil for the turn, but has the Amber Waystone. Amber Waystone going to take Marius up to 11, and Mystic Ascendant drawing him a card.
So now if he plays Caleb and Caleb gets any buff, he basically just wins here. Like he only needs a little bit of damage.
And
that
that's
should be
enough.
lethal.
It is, yeah. It definitely definitely is enough damage to end this game. Mouche is going to take this down. Congratulations. 2-0, Mouche. Marius putting up an awesome fight, just not able to deal with the large amounts of life swing capable of Mouche's deck in a single turn. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I've really just underestimated Charge Rod, because my experiences with Charge Rod have mostly been against opponents who either mostly floundered. I mean, every once in a while they get the full combo going off, and it feels pretty bad on the end of that. But mostly I see Charge Rod just be an awkward deck that dies to anything proactive. But that game, against how slow Combre was, the silences really were not enough of an answer. Like trying to 1-for-1 them with Desert Marshal, things like that, just didn't work out once you can warp stuff off and Divining Rod and your cards are 10-10 flying lifesteal charge.
Yeah, I mean they're fine cards. Yeah, it's just like it's okay. But again, congratulations to Mouche. Gabe, I'd also like to compliment you on your caster icon. It is man, like that weird looking Totoro. That's a really
Did we
pretty icon.
switch them out? Is that what happened?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just enjoying that. So maybe take a look at the stream at some point. Now I know we're going to be looking to see if
Oh,
we can
no.
get a backup match. My Okay. All right, cool. So it sounds
Oh.
like we do not have another backup match, so we're gonna end it there. Take a little bit of a break, but we got a special treat for you. All right, we have a charge rod deck tech that's going to come on immediately after this. Yeah, give a little bit more of a breakdown of the deck that we saw coming out from Mouche. So thank you everybody for tuning in. We will be back in just a little bit. Enjoy the deck tech, and we will see you guys when we return. Enjoy.